A powerless boy defies the odds in a magic world by mastering swordsmanship in a very unique manga. What am I talking about? Well, let's find out as we review this cool thing, shall we? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken manga review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're doing good and hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast you can find at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKN in your search bar and I'll guarantee you find us one way or the other. And if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell for notification for when we release new episodes. And with that in mind, let's actually get to it, because if you remember from that last episode, I spun that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated their viewing, well, a very weird manga, a unique manga, a manga that, well, let's get to it. So the manga we're talking about is Wistoria Wand and Sword, and this was written by Fujino Omori with art by Toshi Aoi. If that name sounds kind of familiar, well, this is the creator of Danmachi. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? This is a very different series than that because it is not a video game isekai series, and it is a little different. We're going to get to that in a moment. So let's actually get to what is this manga about. Well, this is the story of Will. And Will is a member of the Regarden Magical Academy, which is a school for the greatest of all magic users possible. In a world where magic is the most powerful thing there is, tons of people go to this school to learn how to be the best they can be. And Will is one of these students who wants to become a magician. There's only one tiny problem in this world where magic is the most important thing. Will, unfortunately, does not have any power. He has none whatsoever. Essentially, he is a muggle who's at Hogwarts for a scholarship, and he is not good at anything, and his classmates and teachers treat him horrible for this. One of his professors, known simply as Edward Severance, who is essentially the Snape of the school, treats him mercilessly, calling him to do experiments that says, oh, well, you're the no-name, talentless loser who only knows book stuff. Because Will does excel at exams and anything that's possible that doesn't have to do with magic. He studies, he works really hard, but everyone says you're talentless because you have no power. You have no magic, and it's kind of a shame because everyone thinks he's just a joke. The only person who actually cares about him is his classmate, Colette, who obviously has a crush on him, but she is one of the best students in the school. And it's her and Will's, well, let's just say what it is. His familiar Kiki are the only ones that really are there for him. He does have a roommate who cares about him, and there's a teacher who's looking forward and trying to help him, but for the most part, the school hates him. But why would someone who has no magic go to magic school? Well, it's kind of a cool reason. The reason why he wants to be the best that he can be and show everybody, including his school bully, Sion Ulster, who is a magic user who uses fire, who hates Will with a passion for reasons we'll get to later. Reason why he wants to join and do amazing is because in this world, the world was protected from these weird, mysterious sky invaders by a group known as the Magia Vandar. These are the 5 strongest wizards of all time. They are powerful and they protect the world as it is. They've created a barrier around this world, which is a fake sky. There is no real sky, and there's 5 of them. And this is now the title for these amazing wizards in this world. And the Academy trains wizards to become either Magia Vandar themselves or their lieutenants. And Will's best friend, the love of his life, is one of them. It's a girl who has inspired him to be the best he could be. And this is Elfaria Albus Seifert, who is his childhood friend who he adores. And he made a promise that he was going to be with her and see the sun set with her at the top of the tower where the Magia Vandar live. And so he is going to kick butt and take names and do the best he can by studying and getting as many points as possible in order to reach her talent, because she is amazingly talented. She's a prodigal magician who started using spells at 2 years old, and she's created 12 unique ice spells that are hers. So she is stupid powerful. And he says, I want to be with you. I'm going to be the most important with you when you become a Magia Vandar. And he is trying to do that. And as I said, he gets points in school by acing exams, doing some extracurricular work. And the other thing that he does is that underneath the school, there is a dungeon with a certain amount of levels. And the lower you go, the more points you can get. And Will constantly goes hunting for creatures to get points to build up his resume, essentially. And he gets like 4 points, 5 points, but he's pretty powerful. And he just wants to be there to make it so he could be in Elfaria. And everyone looks down on him for this, like, why do you have this motivation? And he's like, I want to be with her and I have to stand next to her. And that's what he wants. And he is trying his best. And like I said, the only persons who are in his corner are Colette, Kiki, his familiar, who's able to reflect magic and kind of help him do some magic spells, and then Professor Workner, who's the only other person who believes in Will's potential. Now, you're probably wondering, why are we interested in this character who doesn't have any powers, who pretty much everyone's rooting for? Well, we found there's something kind of special about Will, kind of unique. And that is that Will is not a magician. He's not. He has no magical ability whatsoever. Well, eventually we find out some more, but he has no magical aptitude at all. However, he is someone who is able to analyze any situation and memorize any pattern possible, and he is as strong as a dwarf. And he is someone who goes through the dungeon hunting the monsters and attacking them and fighting them in hand-to-hand combat. He does not need magic to fight. What he does use is a sword. In a world of magicians and magic users, he is the only swordsman that is there. And he holds his own against them all in that method. He is physically strong, he is physically fast, he knows all the monster's secrets, and that's where he excels at. This isn't a character who is useless without magic. No, this is a character who, despite not using magic and being terrible at that, he is better using swordsmanship. And that's what this is about. And I know this sounds very familiar. This sounds very similar to Black Clover, where Astra has no magic but has the sword that cancels magic. That's not what's going on here. It's actually something else, which is kind of cool, which I'm not going to spoil because it's way later on that we find out what's going on. But this is the story of a magic user, a non-magic user who's going to rock the world as the swordsman. And it is impressive and crazy and unique as we follow Will as he goes towards his dream. And this is a unique power system in this world where there's no, he's an alpha level, he's a beta level, he's this, he's that. There's none of that. There is classifications for all the wizards, but the wizards, we don't know what the classifications are. All we know is that at the top are the Magia Vandar, the 5 of them, and then there's a bunch of different groups underneath them. There are essentially the clone of humanoids, there's elves, there's dwarves who can't use magic and use strength, and then there's monsters and some other elements as well. But there's no information on what the magics are. However, each person who uses magic, they use different elements for their abilities. So, for example, Colette is wood magic. That's what we use for it. Scion, who is the arch nemesis of Will, is fire magic. Then you have Julius. Julius is a nobleman who's kind of an asshole who goes into play a little bit later. And he uses ice magic and thinks he's better than Elfaria, who obviously uses ice magic, as I said. And that's what this manga is. It's a manga about someone trying to reach the top in this world. And I gotta say, it is one of those ones where I was kind of shocked at how surprisingly good it is. It's really addictive. Now, as I said, this was created by the creator of Danmachi. And you see some elements that are the same in it. The fact that there is a dungeon and that there is magic in this world, but that's about it. This is very different. This isn't the, oh God, I've been saved by a girl and I'm going to go be kind of stalkery after her. This is not that. This is someone trying to be amazing. There is girls that like him. There is a little bit of a harem element to it. And Danmachi is a great manga and light novel. I'm not going to lie. But this is different enough where it makes me want to read more about what's going on. And I do like Will as a character. Will is a character who is trying his best and working hard. He is dumb as a rock. He does not see things in front of him. For example, there's a whole love triangle between him, Colette, and someone else that he does not see. Then also you have his principles where he is someone who will let people bully him and treat him horribly. But then once someone else is bullied, then he steps up. And that's when he shows his true potential. It shows he is a character of character. He's one of the protagonists of character that makes me intrigued. This is a lot of action, a lot of adventure, some harem antics, some really funny moments. And it's, like I said, it's essentially a Muggle and Harry Potter, kind of like Mashal mixed with Black Clover, but done a lot better in my opinion. Now, as for the art style is okay with a lot of elements. The fight sequences are great. For example, him versus Edward, the professor in an exam, looks epic. Also, the fact that Edward is someone who just trained one spell, and he said, you can either know 1,000 spells, or you can know one spell and master it 1,000 times, and you'll have 1,000 quivers. It's kind of cool element, a cool idea for that, to like, you can either study a bunch of stuff, or just be good at one thing. It's kind of cool with that. And the art does get better as it goes along. I will admit, though, some of the monster designs, like the Frost Epic, looks kind of meh. But overall, art is pretty good. Characters are well done. We do have a tournament arc in the second volume, but the tournament arc is engaging. Also, we get reasons why Scion hates Will, and it's kind of a cool backstory. All the characters are fully fleshed and developed. It's not like they're phoning in any of the characters. It's just everyone has their motivations, and it is already established world. Now, the whole concept of why we have the Majavandar is kind of weird. I'm intrigued, and I'd like to know more about what's going on, and hopefully we will, but it's one of those ones where we are going to find out what's going on. Now, this is not a light novel. This was a manga first. There is an anime adaptation that's currently out that I had to watch afterwards, and I'm loving this series. I really am. I do like Kiki. I think Kiki's a fun little familiar. And also the whole element of the Watchers is, I didn't expect to see that as pretty well done. But I digress. I'm spoiling too much. So, a dungeon crawler with a non-magic user in a world full of magic where he can't even use magic at all. Like, for example, his locker is magic locked. So he has to have another student actually unlock his locker to get his stuff. Like, he's, without magic, he's kind of useless. But it makes you want to know more about how he's going to survive and what's going to happen. And I'm really digging this. I surprisingly am digging it a lot. And for that reason, I have to give this our second highest rating of Borrow from a Friend, Don't Return Unless Offered Pocky. It's really good. Now, there are some issues with it. Like I said, it does feel a lot like Mashal and Black Clover, and you do have some elements and hints of Danmachi. It's not as fan servicey as Danmachi, which I kind of like, and also I'm having some fun with this that I didn't expect to have, so we're going to see how it goes. But if you've read this, let me know. Email me, zanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know your thoughts on if this is a great manga, or if it's one of those ones where, you just kind of want to just check it out and you think it's okay. Let me know. And also, a random question of the day is this better than Danmachi? I personally think it is. If you don't, let me know your thoughts. Email me, zanspiraken.com, tweet me at Spiraken. And with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga releases for the week, because we've got some really good ones and some really interesting ones. So let's go. And starting off with Backstabbed in a Backwater Dungeon. My party tried to kill me, but thanks to an infinite gacha, I got level 999 friends, and I'm out for Revenge Manga number 6. This is where the series gets more convoluted. Our main character is currently pretending to be someone else, and his gachas are all his party. I like this manga. It's really cool. It is spinning its wheels a little bit. We did have the zombie girl. We did have the and a couple of other elements, but this is kind of spinning its wheels just a little bit. But I digress. So we have this one. Next, we have Cat Companions, Maruru and Hachi, a manga about two cat best friends. Is it going to be good? I don't know, but it's a cat manga, so I'm going to definitely check it out. Die Dark Volume 7. We're getting to the end of the series. What's going to happen? Are they going to get his bones? I don't know. The Evil Queen's Beautiful Principles, the light novel, Volume 2. How Do We Relationship, Volume 11. I Married My Female Friend, Volume 3. I'm the Heroic Knight of an Intergalactic Empire light novel, and this is a spin-off of I'm the Evil Overlord of an Intergalactic Empire and also the Mob series. So this is going to be kind of cool. I want to check this one out because it looks really cool. Monster Guild, The Dark Lord's No Good Comeback, Volume 7. Ripping Someone Open Only Makes Them Bleed by Yoro Sumino, by the creator of I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Rise of the Outlaw Tamer and His Cat Girl, Volume 4. Someone's Girlfriend, Volume 1. Survival in Another World with My Mistress, the manga, Volume 6. Sword of the Demon Hunter Kijin Gintoshu, Book 6. The web version of Tokyo Demon Bride Story 1, 2, 3, and 4, all being released on the Kodansha app. Tokyo Revengers, Omnibus 23 and 24, and then last and certainly not least, You've Got Mail, The Perils of Pigeon Post, Feiji Jai no Zhu Shishen, the novel, Volume 1. And these are the manga releases for the week. We've got some good ones, we've got some bad ones, we've got some really strange ones. But overall, I'm actually kind of excited for some of the stuff this week. So the ones I'm most excited about are going to be, as I said, Cat Companion, Maru, and Hachi. I'm the Heroic Knight of an Intergalactic Empire. Ripping Someone Open Only Makes Them Bleed, the light novel, seems really compelling. And also because it is by Yoro Sumino, I think it's going to be exceptional. We've read 2 on this podcast and actually reviewed them. I want to go further and read some of her more weird works and actually go into the light novels themselves. I might add that to our Spiraken book club, but we're getting to that in a little bit. Then Someone's Girlfriend, Volume 1. That one looks good. And Tokyo Demon Bride Story. I've heard some things. I want to see how it goes. But these are my top of the week. Let me know what your thoughts are. Email me, zanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. And before I go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out this podcast. Every email I get, every comment I get, every new subscriber gives you more motivation to keep doing this podcast. And I love doing this. I want to keep doing this till an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and large print. So thank you for letting me do this. Like, share, subscribe. Check our Patreon out. Tell your friends about it. Leave comments. Interact. Engage. Check out some of our other works. I am working to make the Instagram and our TikTok a little bit better. Sorry, just life has been kind of hitting me in the face with everything going on. And we've got a bunch of new, really fun interactive panels and podcasts and videos coming out soon on all our media. So definitely check us out at YouTube, our website, www.spiraken.com, on x.com, on Blue Skies, everywhere. Just look for us there. And with that in mind, let's actually get to the part that you have all been waiting for. And what am I talking about? I am talking about that one, that only. The Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. And what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. And when it does, I've assigned a manga title to each of the 10 slots. We're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is what I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 572. We've got some great titles on here, including Helk, Last Quarter, Fragrant Flower, Windbreaker, Apari Ranman, Super Cub, The Fable, Blue Wolves of the Mibu, Vagabond, and a couple others. But let's spin through a review, shall we? Number 5, Fragrant Flower, a Romeo and Juliet story about a guy from a tough school and a girl from a very prestigious school as they fall in love and other antics. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out. So I think that's it for this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. I'll catch you guys all next time, and keep reading manga. See you later.